Well, we meet again. All of you out there, greeting. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shall now continue with our lecture, part 4, God and Creation, and this time about the test. And we can see from Allah commandment, we can see now you just cannot claim that you have, you know, now have becoming very pious, you are now God fearing and all that, because Allah say, indeed, you have to be tested, right? We did test those who lived before them, and so too shall be tested the people now living. So we will be tested to check on our iman, that is our faith, the standard of our belief and all that, before we can urgently say that uh, we are of the highest form of piety to Allah. We have to be tested. There's no two ways about it. The people from before have been tested, so we too have to be tested to taste our iman, our faith, how great it is. So, what is the idea of God testing us? Urgently, he wants to separate the good, strong, and the faithful believers, separate them from those who are weak and the unbelievers. At the end of this lecture, you will understand what I'm trying to explain to you. Why this segregation? God segregated the good, the strong, the faithful believers, and those who are the unbelievers, weak believers, another category. What is the main reason for this? Okay, but before we come to that conclusions, let us go through the motion to understand it. Now, during the ancient time, the test is, you can see, during Prophet Noah, he, Allah or God brought about the flood, and you see the segregation here. God saved the believers, the strong believers, faithful and so on. He segregated them, saved them with the prophet. But those who are not, he annihilated them by drowning them all. So you can see history shown there was this segregation where God saved the good one and demolished or annihilated the weak one. And you can see also in the case of Prophet Hud, same thing, where the storm or the typhoon raged for 7 nights and 8 days. And believe me, it killed all the weak ones, the unbelievers and the weak ones, those who sat on the fan, wanting to believe, not to believe, all got killed. But those who are strong believers, those that we counted on, they are safe. Here again, you see the segregation, the good and the bad. The bad will be annihilated, the good one will be safe. And you can see also in the case of Prophet Lot alayhi salam, same. He brought down, Allah brought down this brimstone from the sky, and this brimstone killed. You see, killed not the believers, the strong one, but the unbelievers and the weak one. The weak one, I'm saying, weak unbelievers, those who sat on the fence, neither here, neither there, and did not want to follow their prophet, just keep on sitting on the fence. And these people also got killed. So the strong one again being saved. Strong one, faithful one, those who can be counted on, they are safe. And we can see again in the case of prophets Saleh and Shuaib, same. There is this blast, mighty blast. As you can see, just an example, a mighty blast that killed, and here again, that killed the unbelievers and the weak believers who sat on the fence. Those who are strong can be counted on, they are safe with the prophet. So, in the ancient time, it's very clear God, Allah segregated the weak one as against the strong one, and He annihilated the weak one. And the weak one meant the unbelievers and the believers who sat on the fence. So why did Allah did do that? That is because He want to cut the root of those who denied our revelation and were not believers. That means the weak one, He did not want them to uh, accumulate, breathing more children. He did not want that. He cut it from the root. That means these people are killed. There won't be any ancestors from them. Totally benign, finished, gone. They won't have any more say in this world, since they don't have any more ancestors left. So the unbelievers and the weak believers are cut at the root. Okay? And we destroy them one after another and just make them a cautionary tale. That means just people talk about. That's all. Talk about like Pharaoh. The Pharaoh is gone. No more. Talk about Karun, the one who was buried with all his treasure, become a cautionary tales. But these people will not leave and his descendant behind. Gone. Cut from the root. No more. So away with the believers. So that was the ancient time. We can see very clearly God segregated between the strong and the weak. As I say, the weak include the unbelievers and those believers who sat on the fence, okay, who did not move with his prophet, stay behind, and they also got killed. And the idea is they should not leave any descendant behind. The root is cut off. So we won't have bread of new unbelievers from them, or new bread of sitting on the fence. Gone. Okay. So that was the ancient time. Now we look at the present time. The present time, and this is what God had promised to our prophets, the messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And God said, I will not punish them, your ummah, O Muhammad, if you are among them. What does God mean by that? What actually God was saying? He would not, or He will not bring about disasters or calamities that would annihilate all the people of Muhammad. like in the previous era, like Noah, Lot, uh, Sohaib, Saleh, and others, where the whole Ummah of unbelievers annihilated. But in Muhammad time, Allah had promised, I won't do that. So therefore, even we had our uh, experience with regard to tsunami, earthquake, typhoon, whatnot, they do not annihilate all the Ummah, no, because that is what God promised. See? So therefore, the Prophet Ummah still today subsisting, not all annihilated, including the unbelievers, including those set on the fence. Same. That is the mercy that our Prophet, as he brought to the world, one of his mercy is the mercy to the world. Uh, Rahmatul Alamin, mercy to the world. What is one of the mercy? That even though this disasters, calamity came down, but it did not annihilate the whole of the Ummah or the people of Muhammad. Still, we have the unbelievers and those sitting on the fence still subsisting. Okay, so let's see then how the test that God gave to the present time. You can see the test is, He said, read in the name of your Lord who created man from a clot. Read, and your Lord is the most generous. He who taught by the pen, who taught man what he did not know. Now, here is the thing. You may think, what is this? This is not a test. It is a test. Read, you say, read means learn, not just reading. Learn. Read and learn. That's what it means. Because if you don't read and learn, you will be annihilated in future. You will be left behind. You will be uncivilized, undeveloped, totally uncultured, totally stupid, and you will be left behind and you will die miserably, leaving no ancestors because you are too stupid to survive. If you can see, if I can put it that way, as can be seen in the ancient time, how God segregated the good and the sound one as against the weak one. So there is a first revelation that come to us. Ikra, read means learn, study, study hard to survive. And you can see all the people who become uh, successful, most of them through learning. You don't learn, you don't progress. So you see all those in the IT making money, those making money from the internet, those making money in various programs that they did, and so on and so on and so on. And they made money through their learning, through their learning. You see also the professions, top profession in the medicals, in the legal, accounting, in the building, architectural, engineering, and whatnot. These people become very famous through learning. And this is the test. If you don't learn, then you will live, likely to live in a poor environment. poverty will always be with you. And this circle of poverty will not leave you. And if you have family, it will not leave your family too. Eventually, because of poor nourishment, difficult to survive without good accommodation, good food, and so on, and proper hygiene or not. Eventually, your children, yourself will be sickly and died. So it relates to poverty. Therefore, it is necessary that we must learn, study, pick up the pen and learn. Go to school, go back to study, pick up ourselves, be the strong one, be the sound one, be in that category so you won't be alienated. Okay? So that's why again God says, for he has taught you what you did not know. Learn. Learn. His knowledge is infinite, unlimited. Learn. Okay? If you want to learn, you want to survive, inshallah, God will show you the way. And today, we have globalization and global education. You can study anywhere, any part of the world, any subject, any vocation. What is your interest? There will be a course for you in this part of the world. Study, study. Okay? But you don't, then you will suffer. Look at the migrations of the Muslims, especially the women from the Asian countries or the Middle East. You see those who, especially in India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and all around those areas, women women are not particularly educated. Most of them stayed in the village doing household chores, not going to school, or even if went to school for a short while, because there is no encouragement for them to study, but more of discouragement against them if they want to study. So what did God do? He made this woman migrated to where? Not Mecca or Medina. No, no way. He sent them to Europe. Why? Study Iqra. So that these people become more educated, more learned, and could survive. And therefore, millions of these people migrated to Europe by sea, by land, by air, and others mode of transportation. Because the test is Iqra. Iqra. And you know, nowadays, I'm talking about Singapore. To enter primary one school, primary one, your son must know how to write, how to read, and how to calculate. This far off from my time when we were young. When we entered primary one, we could not read, we could not write, and never even hold a pencil. Very, very far off. But the present time, you don't have these criteria. Likely, if your son or children do not have these criteria, they won't be admitted into the normal school. So this is a test. Education. You can get all over the world you want to study. And thanks God, you see the graph here, the literate rate is going up very high nowadays. Good, but many more need to be done to help those who are still lagging behind to survive, especially those women from the Middle East, from Asia, Southeast Asia, who are still being left behind education. We have to help them because without this, they may not have a chance to survive with this competitive world, rigorous world, and harsh world. You don't have education, you have difficult to survive unless you are born with golden spoon. That's different. No? So this is what Allah says. God will exalt by many degrees those who of you have attained to faith, and above all such as have been vouchsafed through knowledge. Knowledge is very important. Okay. So what happened to the failures, those who do not have knowledge? Poverty. My God, well, I'm sad looking at this. I'm grieved looking at this situation. You see, but what can we do? Yes, only one thing. Try to give them opportunity in education. Then they can build up their future, inshallah. But if they remain like this, you see, this boy, this young boy, eating remnants fell on the sand, the ground. How to survive? That may be dirty, maybe a lot of germs, whatnot, but he had to survive, he had to eat. And that food that he ate actually killed him. But what can he do? He is poor. And so also this young man, you know, vagabond, or people who go around looking for uh, things to collect that can be sold to money, no education, whatnot. Again, when they fell sick, no money, no place to go, they will die. To go hospital now, clinic needs a lot of money. And you see this poor man also, okay, poor man, or this poor lady, you see, all no money, if they fell sick, hungry, and they maybe the time they have to depart from this world. These are the weak one, the weak one. These will be annihilated in times. These people, because of their condition, they find it difficult to survive, and eventually they will fall along the way and gone. Okay, and look at this also, the addiction, those addicted. Again, as long they did not come out from addiction, okay, see the drugs, alcohol, gambling, and those who live wantonly, you know, never stop living wantonly. It's like addiction. After one man to another, this also will not. They also will not survive. They will not bear descendants, and even those who live wantonly, they have descendants, will be taken away by welfare. or adopted by others so these children could survive, got a chance to survive. But they themselves wasted along the way and will not bring anything in the future. Also, you can see the hardcore criminals. These are spending 20 or more years or life in prison or executed. These people also will not leave behind descendants. Gone as time flies. Nobody remember them. Or the ill health, those who are ill health also, sick, sick and sick and sick. It seems that they are born to be sick, and these ill health people also cannot survive. They fall, they also falter. They won't be the strong one unless they come out from that situation. And therefore, we have so many diseases, cancers, so many cancer that you can see, type of cancers. You have leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, all that. And here also, people who are retarded, people are retarded physically or mentally, they also will find it difficult to survive. Without assistance, definitely they are gone case. Okay? And with assistance too, they will find it difficult to survive, except a few. Others will be wasted away, unmarried, bachelor for life, no works, no, and so on. And the juvenile, unless they come up from this juvenile delinquency, these children will have no future. They will be arrested for gangsterism. They will can be arrested for theft, for burglaries, house breaking, and likely to involve in drugs, gambling, alcohol, whatnot. And these are the future impossibilities. Gone, falter along the way. And last but not least is biography. What is biography? It meant the growth or the data of those who are born and those who died. So, in this world, it is confirmed that the rate of death is higher than the rate of birth. In order for a community or state to rejuvenate itself, it must have a birth rate of 2.1 or 2.11. But instead, many countries fell below 1.3 or even below 1.6. Almost all the Western countries, Europe, fell below 1.6, and Japan too fell below that. So because of birth rate falling and death rate going up, so you will find that more and more people will die and no replacement. Okay, so this is God's ways to get rid of the weak people. And here, weak people were saying, those what God said, not me. He said, the unbelievers, not me. He said it. How we get rid of the unbelievers? Unbelievers means those who do not believe in one God, right? And that is Allah. Huh? But these people will be enlisted through biography, not the demography, not through these calamities. Because Allah had promised to Prophet Muhammad he would not, or he will not bring down calamities to the Prophet Ummah. So this calamity will not be the one that will get rid of the unbelievers, but it is demography. And from the data given, we found out that the demography of those non-Muslim countries fell below 1.6 and many under 1.3. That means these states, communities in future 50 years from now will be annihilated, and you can see the believers, the rate of birth fantastically above 2.1. Okay, and therefore, as it is said by many, you can read in the internet, the whole world in future will be the Muslim world. I'm not saying it. You can read in the internet. So this is how Allah annihilated the unbelievers and the weak ones. He wants the strong one to survive. Okay? The one that triumphs. That's what he say. We exalted likewise some of their forefathers and their offsprings and their brethren. We elected them all and guided them onto a straight way. So those who are strong, those who are strong, those who are believers, sound, faithful, Allah will save them. And their ancestors and their descendants will be safe and led to a straight path. So this is the triumph of those who are successful. Those who are not successful, I am sorry, you will be annihilated. Okay. So what's the reason for this? Okay. That's why Allah said, do you think we did this for no reason? Do you think we segregate this and clear away the weak one, the unbelievers, for this is for no reason? Okay. That's why he said, we created not the heaven and the earth and all between them, but for good reasons. Everything there's a truth and righteousness. Okay. We indeed, yes, indeed, we did test those who lived before them. And so too shall be tested the people now living. And most certainly will God mark out, most certainly God will God mark out those who prove themselves true. And most certainly will he mark out those who are not. Oh my God, you see that? Very clear. He demarcates those who are the true, sound believers and those who are not. Very clearly he said this. Why? Because he wants to have a vicegerent. Vicegerent. Behold, thy Lord said to the angel, I will create a vicegerent on earth. And he ordered the angel, bow down to Adam, and they bow down. Okay. Now, when this command was given, bow down to the angel, Lucifer, in Islam is called Iblis. Lucifer was part of the community of angels. So that's why when God command bow down to Adam, to the angels, he meant the community of angels. At that time, Lucifer was part of the community of the angels before he was disgracefully thrown out of paradise. Okay? So everyone bow down, but not him. Okay? We'll come to that later, but we see this one. Why Allah want this vicegerent to be strong, faithful believers, those who can be counted on? Because not only the angels and the Satan have to bow down to them as the vicegerent of God, but also he make the sea under his vicegerent command. Not only the sea, but also the animals and also the wind. And you can see the sea now. Previously, we had a lot of shipwreck, but nowadays no more. We have tanker as big as a football field, or those who ship that carry cargoes with laden of cargoes and big as a football or four football fields, yet and all of iron, yet they can travel along the sea and ocean without any problem because we have tamed them down as God has given us the power, the authority as the vicegerent. They are subdued to us. Similarly, the animals, you can see the zoo, so many animals were kept. Animals are subdued by us. And you see the wind. Nowadays, we can even fly without parachute. Okay, we just use a wingsuit, and we can use the turbine to create power and all that. We have aeroplane, rockets, drones, whatnot, occupying space. So the space is subdued by us. And also, God promised He will subdue to us heaven and earth. So, heaven up there, we will come and subdue them one day. Okay? And the sun and the moon and the stars, all these up there, and night and day, it means galaxy. The galaxies, the sun, the moon, the stars will be subject to us. And that is why we must be strong, able to be counted on, able to function, intelligent, and so on. This is the traits of a vicegerent that God want to appoint. Okay? And we can see here also, and he has subjected to you as from him all that is in the heaven and on earth. So all heaven and earth subjected to us. Now indeed we have conferred dignity on the children of Adam and borne them over land and sea and provided for them sustenance out of the good things of life and favored them for above most of our creation. We are the favored one. So he needs a strong vicegerent that he can rely upon, counted for, intelligent and whatnot. If they are not strong, they are weak, how they are going to subdue heaven and earth, the moon, the star, the sun, the galaxies, the oceans, the animals, the space and whatnot. So they must be strong. Why he need this vicegerent, a strong vicegerent, strong, responsible, committed vicegerent? Because there is a trust to be given to this vicegerent. And what is this trust? We indeed offer the trust to the heavens and earth and the mountains, but they refuse to undertake it, being afraid thereof. But man, that is us, undertook it. He was indeed unjust and foolish. Because of the big, almost unsurmountable task, even the heaven, earth, mountain do not want. We are indeed foolish enough to accept this. And that is why God picked the best from us. That is why I say, read, learn. I will give you all the education you need to subdue all this, to prove yourself as a good vicegerent of mind. No. And I will give you all what you need to put all this under our domination. Okay. And what is the duty? The main duty, after we have subdued all this under our command, our duty is, I've created jinns and men that they may serve me. Serve me. Now look here. With demography, with all the calamities that kill the weak one, the unfaithful one, and so on. Okay. Those that remain strong will be the vicegerent, that will be future vicegerent. But as we know, as the demography, in due time, the world will be a Muslim world. I'm not saying this, you can read in the internet. 50 years from now, look at the demography. The whole world will be a Muslim world. So in that sense, there's no problem of men worshipping God, because the world will be a Muslim world. But now let the jinns, because you see this commandment, I have only created jinns and men. The jinns, and these are the one that we need to bring back to worship Allah. So, but who will do it? Who will bring back this jinn to worship Allah? Definitely not our Prophet, Messenger, Rasulullah Sallallahu Muhammad, who had demise already, and he's the last prophet. There will be no more new prophet coming. Okay, so now there is nobody, no new prophet available to be tasked with bringing the jinns back to fold. So that's why, on whose shoulder this task will be given? The vicegerent. Now you understand why we are made vicegerent, and why we need a good stout, faithful believers, committed, intelligent one, not to be a vicegerent. You see here, he says, Allah has promised to those among you who believe and work righteous deeds that He will of surety grant them in the land inheritance of power, as He granted it to those before them, that He will establish in authority their religion, the one which He has chosen for them, and that is Islam, and that He will change their state after the fear in which they live to one of security and peace. They will worship me alone and not associate aught with me. If any do reject faith after this, they are rebellious and wicked. And therefore He placed a vicegerent on earth. Okay? So what is the job of the vicegerent? First, governance. He must learn about governance. He must learn about politics, which is the best politics system of politics to be used. You have the democracy, you have the communism, socialism, and others. He must choose, he must balance all out, he must be fair to all, and look carefully which to choose, or even create a new system if it's justified. So he must learn about this political system in this world. He must learn about the economic system in this world. You have the capitalism, you have the central plan for communism, you have the socialism, and now you have the BRC and others. He must study all this and see which is the best for the system in future, or you need a new system. This he must undertake this. so that we come up with a system that is good for all when in governance. And in social system, there are a lot of social problems. You must study which social system is good, because if you choose wrongly, you may have problem with drugs, juvenile, secret societies, crimes, divorces, decadence of morality, and so on. So you have to choose what is so. If again, ikra, read, learn, so that you can find a system, a good system for the world in the future, not necessarily the present system. And the next thing, you need to go to the outer space, because that is our roof. The sky is our canopy. It's our roof. You must go up. It's our roof. And God said, and we have made the sky a roof withheld from them. Allah, it is He who appointed for you the earth for dwelling and place, and the sky for canopy. And He said, I have opened the gate to heaven. Go up, go up. He said, go up. The direction is there. And there He said, oh, assembly of jinn and men, if it can be, you can pass beyond the zone of the heavens and earth. Pass ye, but not without power. See, He hints at power. So we need power to go up. And true enough, we can see all of these instruments or rockets and whatnot went to space with power. Okay. So who up there? The prophet say 9 genes to one of us, 9 to 1. That means out there, 9 to 1. There are many more of them, but as compared to us, 9 of genie compared to us 1. That how many are up there? There are 9 manifold, as against us. 9 folds or many folds against us. So 1 to 9, that means there are many of them up there. Why they are up there? You remember when we said unto the angel, fall prostrate before Adam, and they fell prostrate, all save Iblis, Lucifer. He was of the jinn, so he rebelled against the Lord's command. Ask him to bow down to Adam, and he said, no way. This is a cigar. No way. And God asked, what prevented you from bowing down when I commanded you? He said, I am better than he. Thou didst create me from fire, and him from clay. He looked down on ourselves because we are from the smelly clay, Iblis replied, it is not for me to prostrate myself before mortal men. Wow, mortal men. He too will die, whom thou hast created out of the sounding clay. Wow. See? Out of dark slime transmuted. What a sickening chap, He looked down on this dark slime transmuted, He said, shall I bow down to one whom thou didst create from clay? So we are smelly clay, downtrodden. And Allah was angry and said, get thee down from this. It's not for thee to be arrogant here. Get out. So all of the cronies and Lucifer were kicked out from paradise or from heaven, and they went down and they occupied all the planets or the earth in the outer space. See? So you see, somebody is living, there you are, and we can see, how do we know they occupied all the earth up there? Because of Zulkarnain. Zulkarnain went to 3 earths, up there. In the first earth, he said, the sun set in a spring of murky water, and that is not our earth. That is the earth up there. And And he found near it, he found a people, an Ummah. These are the Satans, the Satans. Then he went to another place where the earth, on that earth, the people are not protected from the suns, no, from the sun. That is not our earth. And if there is also he found uh, people, people. That means there's again an Ummah on that earth. And the third one he went there. There was this Gog and Magog, where he built this wall of brass, as they say, and that stopped the Gog Magog from coming down and kill those people living on that earth. So you can see they are there, 9 of them to one of us. They are there. Okay, so we must subdue them back to worship Allah, because I did not create jinn and mankind except to worship me. So we are subdue them back. That's why he said, and fight them until persecution is no more and religion is all for Allah. Fight them, because who are they worshipping? They are not worshipping Allah. They are worshipping what you call Taghut. Taghut. And again there's a, and fight them until persecution is no more and religion is for Allah. If they desist, then let there be no hostility except against wrongdoers. Two commands from Allah, or commandment, for us to subdue these jinns, the genies or jinns up there, bring them back to fold. Okay. Those who believe fight in the cause of Allah, and those who reject fight in the cause of Taghut. So fight ye against the friend of Satan. Okay. O ye who believe, if you help Allah, it will help you and will make you foothold firm. So we have to fight them. So glorify the name of thy guardian, Lord Most High, who creates and therefore forms it, equipments in accordance with what it is meant to be. So God will give us equipment from time to time, suited to our time. And these equipments that will help us also to subdue these Satans up there. And he said here, after we have conquered them, let there be no compulsion in religion. See that? Now this verse was always repeated without people knowing that this verse was meant for the Satan. You look closely. Where let there be no compulsion in religion, truth stand out clear from error. Whoever rejects Taghut, and this is the thing that worshipped by the Satan of that Taghut, and believe in Allah. So if reject Taghut, don't force them. That means go about the softer way, maybe by kindness, love, and so on, and let them give up on Taghut, because if they hold on to Allah, they grasp the most trustworthy handhold that never breaks, and Allah hears and knows all things. And then he say, invite to the way of Lord. That means invite them, not by violent threat and whatnot, by Lord with wisdom, beautiful preaching, and argument in ways that are best and most gracious. Okay, okay. So we are the vicegerent. We have been appointed, right? So in order to be appointed, we must be strong. We must be able to the Lord to depend on us to carry out our duty. We are committed, intelligent, and with that features or characters of a vicegerent, we are then to go up to the to the space up there where there are many fold of Satan up there, in the earth abound up there, and we are to fight them, conquer them, and bring them back to fold, bring them back to fold. Let me worship Allah again, because they are worshipping now Taghut, bring them back to fold. So now you can see the reason why he has this test. Without this test, he will not find a learned vicegerent who is able to get out the trust and the duty. Okay, so he know what we don't know, what we don't know. He knows, and what he did, he knows best. We don't know. We say, why like that? Why like no? Because he has a reason. Everything he does have a good reason, and he does this because he wants to have a good, committed, dependable person, intelligent and so on, to be his vicegerent, to be his vicegerent, because he wants to give him a task, a trust, a heavy one. Why heavy? Is not easy to bring this coverage, this nincompoop and all that. No, this Satan, no, terrible, the worst kind of hardcore criminal you will never meet is this Satan. You have to bring them back. It's not an easy task. The mountain did not want, the sky did not want, huh? The land, the earth did not want. You see, these are big figures, big uh, big things that do not want. And we, the small fry human being, compared to this enormous big personality, we wanted to carry it out. So he makes sure that we are able, by giving us all the knowledge that we want, the equipments that we want, and he tested us to be ready to carry out this function. And yet, yes, we did not disappoint him. In future, we'll go up, subdue all this Satan, and with uh, persuasion and love and kindness, understanding, not with violence, we bring them back to fold to worship Allah. And why he did all this? Because remember, when he asked the Satan and Lucifer to bow down to Adam, and what they say, yeah? Behold, thy Lord said to the angel, I'll create a vicegerent on earth. They said, wilt thou place therein one who will make mischief? See, they say, will thou place therein? No, he's questioning Allah wisdom. He questioning Allah wisdom. Will thou place therein one who will make mischief therein and shed blood? While we do celebrate thy praises and glorify thy holy name. See? So he wants to prove to Satan and their head Iblis, Lucifer, that he had made a correct choice. And in the end, it's proven. We, the intelligent, committed, brave, faithful vicegerent of Allah, through our conquest and through love, kindness, care, affection, and all that, not by violence after that. After we conquer them, we do not use violence to bring them to worship Allah. So Allah says, there is no force for them to. So we go by kindness, love, understanding, affection, whatnot, and eventually all of them back to full worship Allah, fulfilled His commandment in the early stage. I created jinn and mankind to worship me. Okay, and therefore He proved to Iblis and Lucifer, when we have conquered them, bring them to fall. When He say again, He said, I know what ye know not. Okay, so that is the end of my lecture. Hopefully you enjoy it, and inshallah we'll meet again. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.